thinking, what have I done? I wish I did not come off the pill. I'm gonna have to go back on it so that I can take my basal body temperature. Whenever I look at my skin for too long, it upsets me. I don't know what happened with me. My skin's just gonna be oily off the pill. I have never had worse period cramps. I'm just trying to keep this as real as possible. Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be more of a vlog, but I kind of wanted to do a little rough introduction. I have decided to come off the birth control pill. If this is the first video you're seeing of mine, hello, welcome. I started this channel after going on Accutane for 6 months because I had very severe acne, and I'll link that video up here. So one of the sort of conditions of taking Accutane is that you must be on a form of birth control. So when I actually went on Accutane back in 2019, I think it was, I went back on the birth control pill and I haven't been off it since. I've been actually thinking about coming off the pill for a few years now. I wanted to kind of come off it when I stopped Accutane. Basically, to summarize, I want to try coming off the birth control pill because I don't like the side effects. I don't like the risks of being on the pill. I feel that my mental state has been poorer since being on the birth control pill. However, it's a bit difficult for me to remember how I was 4 years ago. So I want to just see if it can help. By no means saying that getting off the birth control pill is the right thing to do. I just want to see if it might be of benefit to me. And if it's not, I'll let you know, I'll document it. Let's explore the world of hormones together. So the thing that I'm probably first and foremost going to be monitoring is my skin. I know it sounds so vain, but if you've had severe acne before, I think you understand where I'm coming from, that it is really scary to change something that is known to affect your skin. As I said, I've just broken out. I've been quite happy with my skin otherwise. For me, if going off the pill can help my mental clarity and help me feel a little less anxious, I don't know, it might be worth it. And it might not mess up my skin that much. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous that I'm doing this actually. So I think this first vlog is gonna be the first month of me coming off the pill, and yeah, I'll keep you updated over this month. So I started my period yesterday. This is technically still the withdrawal bleed that you usually get whenever you stop the pill, but the difference is I'm not gonna start taking the pill after this withdrawal bleed. So I was looking at apps and I've heard about Clue and Flow. I used to use Clue, I think, but it's been so long. So I downloaded Flow. So you just enter whenever you get your period and it should work out, I guess, over a few months. If it's regular enough, it'll tell you when to expect your period. Also, my skin's been looking actually really good. Why do I look like I'm crying? I'm not crying. I'm just opening my little Flow app. It's exactly now 1 week since I started my period, and my period only lasted 4 days, which I think is pretty much as long as it is when I'm taking the pill. So I don't know if I was very clear. Basically, what I heard is that if you're going to stop the pill, it's best to just stop it after you are meant to have the break in the pill. So on the pill that I was taking, there was always a 7-day pill break where they had placebo pills. So essentially, you would follow your pill as per normal, take the placebo pills or don't take the placebo pills, doesn't really matter, but you just don't start taking the pill after that. That's supposed to be a lot easier on your body than if you were to stop the pill mid-cycle on the pill, if that makes any sense at all. I had a period or withdrawal bleed for 4 days, and then it stopped, which I was kind of nervous it wouldn't happen like that. Yeah, I really haven't noticed anything. That's my little update. I'm just gonna keep referring to my little Flow app. I was gonna try and use 2 period tracking apps. However, because I previously used Clue before I went on birth control, I think it like sort of messed up the cycles because it said I was like 2,000 days late or something crazy like that. Despite some emotional patches, I overall am feeling like super positive. In terms of skin, I actually noticed I have been breaking out around my chin. We'll just monitor it. No need to freak out. So I purchased a little thermometer that goes to 2 decimal places so that I can take my basal body temperature. I'm by no means an expert on this and I'm probably going to get it wrong, but the idea is that your basal body temperature, if you take it at the same time every day, usually in the morning before you've actually gotten up and your metabolism's sort of starting, you can track where your body temperature peaks. And around that time is when you are supposed to ovulate. I think it's something to do with your progesterone hormone levels. The reason I got Kindara is because you can track your body temperature. And I'm going to keep you guys updated, and it'll probably be more interesting next cycle because I think I'm monitoring my basal body temperature after I've already ovulated. But yeah, I'm really excited to monitor that. Not using it for fertility or contraception reasons. It's honestly just because I love to learn as much as possible about my body and I really am interested. I did want to show you my skin. It has started breaking out a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. I've actually got like a pimple right under a freckle there and I've got one coming out here. Forehead's okay. I think I'm just like getting quite congested, like my skin. I don't know. We'll see. This morning, like after I washed my face and my skin was a little bit more red, I did sort of look at my skin and think, whew, it's breaking out. See, like, I don't know. I've got a pimple down here. This one, and I've just been like breaking out around here, which I believe is hormonal. If you haven't seen my like Accutane vlog, where I had all my acne was so specifically my cheeks, did not touch the center of my chin or my nose, and then like my forehead was pretty affected as well, which I'm not really like seeing too much happening up there, maybe just like texture. I also wanted to update you on the app situation. I want to compare when each app is telling me that I'm going to start my period. I'll like write it here, I think. So Kindara is telling me that my next period will start on the 6th of July. Clue is predicting I'm going to start on the 5th of July. And Flow is also saying 5th of July. Interesting. So they're all kind of like around the same time. What I've liked about Kindara so far is that every time I open the app, it takes me straight to this page, which is where you can enter data, which works out really good for me because I open this first thing in the morning. When I wake up, I try to take my temperature and I just enter that in. I haven't really been tracking anything else because I'm like a graphical data analytical kind of person. I love the graph function. I do want to mention about my mood and how I've been feeling in my mental state, because that is a big reason of why I decided to come off the pill. I don't know if it's just placebo, but I do feel like I've been more motivated. I've started up running again and I just feel a little less cloudy. I actually genuinely do feel like I feel less brain fog. See you in the next update. I want to show you that my skin is still breaking out. I just hopped out of the shower and put on like some eye cream. Whilst this is quite frustrating, I think it is expected and I'm trying to not stress out about it. It's looking... Whenever I look at my skin for too long, it upsets me a bit, but a few of these like bigger pimples have gone down now. Think that this is probably just my skin acclimating. There's not really any signs of my period, although it is today's the 1st of July and I think it is meant to come on the 4th. Wait, maybe I'm breaking out because my period is coming. I'm not sure. It's literally the next morning, right after I was saying about my skin, and guess what? I got my period. So like I was saying, I feel like now I'm going to put this breakout down to, first of all, coming off the pill, but second of all, I got my period. So I feel like I'm breaking out because of that, and hopefully this will go down as I come off my period. According to my apps, which I've mainly just been using Kindara now, just because I really like the way it displays the information and the fact that you can track your temperature. According to Kindara, I wasn't meant to start my period until the 6th of July. I do kind of have like cramping too, which I feel like I never used to really get that much cramping. But you guys, it's the same day as the last clip you saw, and I'm just trying to keep this as real as possible. I have never had worse period cramps. As far as I can remember my cycles before going on the pill, I have never experienced more pain than I experienced today. I am so thankful today is a weekend, because if I had to go to work, I would not have been able to. I was in, first of all, so much pain, but I also felt physically unwell. It's because of the prostaglandins that your body releases to help your uterus contract are the same prostaglandins that make your bowels contract. So it creates stomach cramps as well as uterus cramps. Oh my gosh. Luckily, I took some paracetamol. I took 2 paracetamol, and it took maybe 30 minutes, an hour for that to kick in. But once it did, I really did start to feel a little bit better. I feel like I hadn't heard that from anybody else, where they had a really bad first period. I feel like a lot of people say that their first period is very much like how they were on the pill. I don't know what happened with me, because when I was watching these kinds of videos that other people have done, I felt like the general consensus was that the second period is when it started to go a little bit haywire. But maybe my body's just cleared the hormones quicker. I'm going to take more paracetamol before I go to bed to try and prevent this coming back. I don't know how long people usually have cramps for. Is it the whole time, or is it just like the first day? Okay, it's the end of day 2 of my period, and I just want to report nowhere near as bad as yesterday. I will note though that I had a shocking sleep last night, and I had a headache and like a sore throat all day. That could be related to me sleeping badly last night. Hopefully I'll sleep better tonight, and yeah, otherwise going okay. I've also noticed that my skin was really quite oily yesterday, and I got these 2 yesterday. Maybe my skin's just gonna be oily off the pill, and that's why I get pimples as well. This is gonna be my last little update for this vlog, which was cycle 1 off the pill. So just to recap, but essentially I got my period that I've just come off of about 26 days later from my withdrawal bleed when I first came off the pill. In terms of my skin, I'm honestly pretty happy to say that to me it cleared up. I was thinking that it would just keep getting worse and worse and worse, but for right now, and again it can always change, the acne that I did have has mostly cleared up. Maybe I'm just gonna have pre-period acne, which is totally fine with me if it goes away for the rest of the month. My next video in this little series is going to be a 3-month update of the pill. So I'll let you guys know. Leave any questions if you do have any questions. I'm going to continue with my little basal body temperature taking, but I do have to say, because it goes to 2 decimal places, at least the one that I have, it takes like at least a minute for your temperature to be taken. And to take that like first thing when you wake up in the morning, when you're like kind of falling back asleep, and then to document it, it's a little bit more tricky than just taking a pill. Anyway, so I have like missed a few days, but my temperature around ovulation was around 37 degrees, and now it's sitting around 36.5, 5:36:6. It's really interesting. You can definitely see a temperature change, which I find really cool. But to actually take it like at the same time every day, I don't really know that it's gonna fit into my lifestyle, especially because like this is just out of interest for me. Let me give you just a final little skin update because I am really quite happy with how it's looking now. Obviously you can see where I did have breakouts, but they really are going away. Obviously I'm still, like, my skin is never perfect. I've got a little bit of texture everywhere. I'm really happy, actually. I was getting really nervous there. You might have noticed. I'll keep tracking that as sort of one of the main things I monitor in this little hormone diaries, whatever I'm gonna call it, series. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.